Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to today's live session. I'm so excited for the conversation that we are going to have today because I want to take you on a special journey with me today. I want to take you on a journey where you begin from wherever you are right now to whatever you want to achieve and more. I want to take you on the journey of success. And I know it sounds quite impossible, right? How can we go on that journey in just 10 to 15 minutes? But trust me, you can. So let's begin right now. Let's begin by first identifying what's the vehicle we want to take to the journey to success. Like you could take anything, right? You could take a car, you could take a plane, you could take a cycle, you could walk if you wanted to. So, what do you think would be a vehicle that fits for this journey of achieving success, of creating your dream life, of getting every single thing you've always wanted? And I know you're probably thinking, well, a car's probably not going to get me there. I mean, I already have one, it's not doing much. And I've taken a couple of flights, they've not helped either. Maybe for a few days if I was on vacation, but I don't like the flight that brings me back home. So these vehicles may not be the ones that lead us there. So, what are the ones that can? What is the special vehicle that can make this journey possible for us? Well, it's something that's sort of a vehicle, sort of not a vehicle, but I'll say it's an important one. It's not a car, it's not a train, it's not a plane, it's not a bike. It's what we call a breakthrough. Yes, that's right. The vehicle that takes you to your success, the vehicle that takes you to your goals, the vehicle that makes all of it possible is what we call a breakthrough. And I know you're probably thinking, well, that was pretty anticlimactic. I know, I've heard all about it, right? This breakthrough, that breakthrough. But today, I don't just want to talk about that. I want to go deeper and I want to help you understand what does it really mean to break through? What does it really mean to take this vehicle on your journey to success so that you can fast track your way to the outcomes that you want? After all, we call these daily life sessions our breakthrough sessions. So I thought it was a right time to share with you how this word came to be, what's really the science behind it, and why it is so powerful that I decided to make my daily sessions named after it. And I'm sure you would have seen this with a lot of people. This is one of the most common words that's used to describe a massive change. So let's dive into it, okay? Let's understand how does a breakthrough come to be. This is Crash Course 101 in understanding how to manufacture breakthroughs in your life. So for example, if you want to manufacture a car or if you want to manufacture a plane, you need some raw material, right? Like aluminum, like steel, like something to put in the engine or paint or upholstery or seats. There's a lot of raw material required to build a car and build a plane. Well, just like that, if breakthrough is the vehicle we are taking on our journey to success, it also requires a lot of raw material. Would you like to know what that raw material is? Well, here's the thing about it, okay? And I'm going to tell you what it is in just a second, but I got to prep you up for it so you don't click off from this video the moment I say that. When you're prepped, you'll know what to expect. So, for example, let's take chocolate, right? When you're making chocolate, the end outcome is really, really, really sweet. Like it just melts in your mouth and you're like, oh my God, this is heaven on earth. But if you eat the raw material the chocolate comes from, the cocoa beans, you're probably going to spit it out because of how bitter it is and how bad it tastes in your mouth. Well, just like that, the raw ingredient for breakthrough, it's the same. The end outcome's pretty sweet. The success is amazing. Oh, everybody would want that. But to deal with the raw ingredient, people don't really want that because the raw ingredient is bitter and it's painful. The raw ingredient for any breakthrough is the life you don't love, it's the suffering you go through, it's the challenges that you have to endure. I know, I told you it's not easy. I told you it's not what you want. It's going to feel very bitter. It's going to feel very bad. So you can't blame me, okay? I already prepped you enough for that with the chocolate example. But see, all jokes aside, the truth is, think about the word breakthrough. There's a barrier, okay? There's a challenge. There's something you think you cannot possibly go forward from. You cannot fathom yourself being greater than the challenge, and yet that's what the breakthrough calls you to do. That if the challenge is here, you rise, you rise, you rise, you rise, you rise, and you break through the barrier, and then you allow massive success, you allow massive abundance, you allow all kinds of joy to come into your life. But can that happen without challenges? Can that happen without a problem? Can that happen without events that make you question, why am I even living? It cannot. And that is why I consider pain, I consider suffering, I consider challenge, I consider failure an opportunity, a privilege, one of the best things that could ever happen, because it's giving me the raw ingredients required to put into my factory of manufacturing breakthroughs. And when I manufacture breakthroughs, I'm able to create and go on the path to success. I wish I could tattoo this inside every single one of your minds. So the next time something challenging comes up, the next time something hurtful comes up, the next time you're going through unspeakable problems and things that make you question why you even here, rather than complaining and rather than giving up, you embrace gratitude. I know it sounds crazy, but it's the second raw ingredient that makes the breakthrough, by the way. Because the more you're complaining and the more you're like, I don't know why this happened to me, this shouldn't have happened to me, and you're crying and you're feeling sad, you're blocking your way through success. Why? Because you're again making the circumstance greater than you. And trust me on this, no matter what happens in the world, you are always greater than the circumstances that surround you. And to remind you of that power is what these challenging moments are here for, to show you that you can create the magic, to show you that, you know what? You have it in you. And you're the only one playing unnecessarily small, to show you that success is always possible. That's what the challenges are here for. But no, what are we going to do? Are we going to take it as a breakthrough? No, we're going to break it down. And you don't want to manufacture that result, but manufacturing that result is pretty easy, huh? By the way, all you have to do is complain and sit back and say, I don't know why this happened, and cry about your fate and feel like a victim to your circumstances. That's the way you create a breakdown. But if you want to break through and if you really want to make all your dreams a reality, you've got to learn to embrace the pain and be grateful for it, because if it was not there, you would not have the raw ingredient for creating a breakthrough. Now I want to take you deeper into understanding, how does a bitter experience like pain, heartbreak, loss, failure, getting laid off from a job, going through a divorce, going through challenge, whatever it is that you're going through right now, the biggest challenge of your life, how does that pain translate into a breakthrough? Because I know right now you cannot see it. Right now you cannot experience it. Right now you cannot understand it. But when you go through the process again and you see how it happens, boom, like this, you'll be able to manufacture breakthroughs. So whether it's manufacturing chocolate now, or whether it is manufacturing a car or a plane, what happens is you take the raw ingredients, then the raw ingredients go through multiple different processes until being shaped into the final form of a good car, good airplane, or really, really, really tasty chocolate. I think from the example you can already understand. I love chocolates. That's why, by the way, I've also studied how this process works, and it came across to be a beautiful metaphor. So, when cocoa beans are processed, when aluminum is processed to turn into metal sheets for the plane, when metal for the car is made and all the frames are made, you know what the raw material has to go through first to be able to be transformed into whatever it is transformed into? Lots and lots and lots of heat. I know what you're already thinking. I'm anyways going through this pain. I'm anyways going through this challenge. And now you're asking me to go through more heat. Well, unfortunately, yes, I am. Because look at it this way, okay? You cannot transform something unless you have enough of a catalyst and enough energy to transform it. And that energy, unfortunately, a lot of the times comes in the form of heat, comes in the form of even more pain, even more fuel to the fire. So if you want to get to a breakthrough, right? If things are worse, expect them to get even worse, more worse than what you could have thought. Think of it as universe testing you. Think of it as universe prepping you. Think of it as whatever you want, but accept this reality that before you break through, you're probably going to break down a couple of times. That's okay. But what gets you to the breakthrough is your ability to even look at the breakdowns, not as ultimate end results, but just as the process, just as the heating up, just as the moment of going through the whole process of being molded into something new. Because think about it, we are so rigid in our ways, we are so stuck up in our thoughts that sometimes if we don't, life will throw a curveball our way so we can be molten and shaped anew. So rather than resisting that process, my humble ask is, can we embrace that process? And when we embrace that process, can we ask ourselves, what's my blessing here? What's my lesson here? And how am I expected to grow and evolve? Have that conversation. Think of these questions. Push more. And when you take your raw material of pain, of unspeakable suffering, of challenges, of everything that's going wrong in your life, and you allow yourself to go through the heat of embracing the tough decisions, of embracing the tough realizations that really just shake you up from within, and then from there, you manufacture your breakthrough. Oh, nothing. And I mean, absolutely nothing can stop you from getting your outcome. And I know you're probably thinking, well, Prab, this makes sense. This is nice. I know what you're talking about. It sounds good in theory. How do I practically implement this? Well, here's the thing. The way you practically implement this is by practically going through the process. And that's what you're not willing to do. I mean, when I talk to my coaches, right, and there's a certain outcome they want to manifest, and there's a certain goal they want to achieve, everybody has one, be it in their relationships, be it in their health, be it in their career, finances. And some of them are really struggling in situations like, you're probably thinking, how can this person even recover? And in that state, the easiest thing for me to do would be to give them some great motivation, some false motivation to push them through in that way. But even I know that's temporary. That's not why I coach. That's not why I create breakthroughs for people. Even in the toughest of situations, I've helped people see the blessings. I've helped people see how their pain is serving the purpose of their transformation, how going through this heat right now, going through this challenge right now, is shaping up the best future for themselves. And when they realize it and when they truly accept it, the pace at which breakthroughs happen, I cannot describe that to you in words. I genuinely can't. When I'm sitting across the Zoom call and I'm hearing them say, oh, yeah, by the way, this just happened. I actually go silent like this. I take a pause for a moment because in front of me then is not just this reality that they shared. In front of me is the entire journey I have seen from the moment of pain, from the moment of breakdown that has brought them to this breakthrough. And that's when I realize, hey, this works. This really works. If you just follow the process, you allow the pain to transform you rather than break you, this works. And that's what it means to create the vehicle of a breakthrough. It cannot exist without pain, it cannot exist without challenges. The more ready you are to embrace them, the faster you grow, the better you grow, the more amazing you become, the more successful you become. And when you allow this manufacturing process to happen, and the moment that breakthrough hits, you're already successful. Material results, they'll catch up when they want to catch up. But inside, you'll know, I am already successful. And that is an achievement no amount of money, no amount of fame, nothing compares to. So I hope today helped. I hope in the last few minutes I was able to really help you see how you can create this magic, how you can make it all happen. And I'll see you once again tomorrow at the same time, that is 8:30 p.m. IST. Till then, keep thinking, what's the breakthrough I'm avoiding by avoiding the pain my current situations and circumstances are asking me and calling me to rise from. Thank you so much, and I'll see you once again tomorrow. Bye.